How did this trade come to be?
Well, there are so many factors and aspects to consider here. Look, the Pittsburgh Steelers essentially turned the deal over to Antonio Brown and Drew Rosenhaus, his client, to make here. And they spent the last 48 hours in discussion with multiple teams. Now, the Raiders were the team that made the most sense, but the talks with them and the Raiders were not exactly smooth from the get-go. And it took a little while before they finally figured out a way to redo Antonio Brown's contract. He had 3 years and $38.9 million left on that deal. They are now giving him a new 3-year deal that's worth up to $54.125 million with $30.125 million in guaranteed money. He had no guaranteed money left. So once Antonio Brown was satisfied financially, then, of course, that was a key element here to go ahead and make the deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be for a third-round pick. It's going to be for a fifth-round pick. So it's not exactly a huge return for a player who has had the unparalleled production that Antonio Brown has had over time. But again, it's not as if the Pittsburgh Steelers could just go out and trade him anywhere they wanted. This was a complicated deal to make. We saw how long it took him to get it in place. The Steelers initially thought that they could get the deal done and expected it to get done by Friday. That didn't happen. And it's amazing to think about now that the Pittsburgh Steelers, Le'Veon Bell is going to be moving on in free agency. Antonio Brown is going to be an Oakland Raider. And Ben Roethlisberger's new leading wide receiver will be Juju Smith-Schuster, and his new running back will be James Conner. And Pittsburgh's a team in transition, and Oakland gets Antonio Brown.
Yeah, this is an unbelievable player for them to get, Adam, for a third and a fifth-round pick. They made those deals last year that many people thought they were head scratchers. But as you look at the return now and all those ones they have, and they bring this guy into the fold, and I wonder, Adam, how much did Vegas coming into the picture a year from now, the fact you mentioned the contract they're going to give him, how much does that play into the construction of the Raiders this year and next?
Well, listen, you have a team, the Raiders, that traded Amari Cooper away for a first-round pick. And in return, they go and trade a third and a fifth-round pick for Antonio Brown. So, again, just put the two items in two separate ledgers. Would you rather have basically Antonio Brown and an additional one, or would you rather have Amari Cooper minus the 3 and the 5? That's basically what it comes down to here. And the Raiders are a team here that knows it has an awful lot of work to do. They've got to rebuild that roster right now. There were massive holes created by the departures of Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. They've now gone out and acquired Antonio Brown, which I think it's fair to say they filled the hole at wide receiver. They're positioned in this draft in a spot where they might be able to come up with a pass rusher, though it's hard to come up with somebody as good as Khalil Mack. And I think they're moving into this new stadium in Las Vegas in 2020. They're eyeing the future. They're trying to build towards that. And look, when you get a player like Antonio Brown, who's going to be 31 years old next season, you take a major step towards making the offense more salvageable. Now, again, they still have a lot of work to do, but I think that they believe this is a major step in the right way. And also we should note that Mike Mayock, the Raiders new general manager, this really is his first big trade. And if your first big trade is going to be for Antonio Brown, trading a third and fifth round pick, that's not a bad way to start it out.